2012 was a huge year for the movies. Box office records were smashed, Christopher Nolan's Batman series came to an end, and Steven Spielberg released his long-awaited biopic of Abraham Lincoln. Out of all the great films this year, I'm going to try to give you a top 10, and you're welcome to take it or leave it, or send me your own to paul.hunton@ttu.edu, and we'll post them on the website. Now, these films are in no particular order, but rather just 10 films that I really enjoyed this year. We'll start with the futuristic Looper. Starring Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, this time-traveling head trip will leave you asking more questions than it answers, but it's worth the wild ride. The story is somewhat complicated, but Looper doesn't take the bait of having long explanations, but rather lets you figure it out on your own. The action is great, and the concept and ending is what really sets it apart from other science fiction. Number 9 on my list is Life of Pi. I reviewed it on the last show, but this book-to-screen adaptation is fantastic, and the visuals are breathtaking. Director Ang Lee masterfully navigates this lost-at-sea story about a boy, his tiger, and his faith. Number 8 is Steven Spielberg's Lincoln. This biopic is a masterclass in acting from a stellar cast, but Daniel Day-Lewis as the great emancipator steals the show. His mix of storytelling and problem-solving is a performance like a storm rolling over peaceful waters. Number 7 on my list is The Queen of Versailles. This documentary, available on Netflix, is flying under the radar of a lot of critics. This film, which follows the David Siegel family, owners of the largest timeshare company in the world, for several years before the economic crash in America and for several years after. It starts with a quest to build the largest family home in the United States and ends with some desperate soul-searching. This film is a perfect microcosm of how, why, and where our country got off track with the financial debt of 2008. Number 6 is Django Unchained. Quentin Tarantino's new film is a bloodbath of action and fun. Go to kttz.org to read my review. Number 5 is Beasts of the Southern Wild. This independent film is available at Redbox and is the story of a small girl and her community that exists in a future New Orleans, which is on the verge of complete submersion in water. Think Mad Max meets Terrence Malick. Number 4 is The Dark Knight Rises. The final installment in Christopher Nolan's Batman series is a fitting finale to an amazing trilogy that rewrote how comic book movies are made. Number 3 is Zero Dark 30. This film is a dark and dirty thriller about the hunt and eventual killing of Osama bin Laden. I thought it lacked emotion, but overall it's a superbly made film about a critical time in America and is worthy of high praise. Number 2 is Argo, another film involving a secret CIA mission, only that is where the comparisons stop for Argo and Zero Dark 30. Argo is a glossy, almost heist-like film that will leave you on the edge of your seat. And finally, the last movie on my list is Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. No film this year captured me more than this fun and quirky comedy about a couple of runaway kids looking for adventure. It feels cliched to call a Wes Anderson film quirky, but this film embodies his style better than any others in his library. I highly recommend you check out all of these films. And for a rundown of my top 10 list, visit kttz.org. When we come back, our South Plains Sessions features local artist Tori Vasquez. Don't go anywhere.